Really cool. All right, so
it's wacky. You can do the peck dance.
well, yeah, yeah.
You know who's always doing that, like in everything that he's in?
Terry Crews.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you love him?
Yes.
Do you love Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes, but I can't say I've seen every episode. I've only seen about 12 episodes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You need to watch that show.
Yep.
Like all of it. It's hilarious. It's the best thing. Well, it's the best thing next to The Office, but it's like different kind of humor, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It could do the wave. I mean, okay,
let's get started.
Let's zoom in on Faheem's I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, do you want to make that later?
Pecs. That's what we're doing.
I'm not gonna do it. So, all right, we're starting. Hello, everybody, coming at you live
Hola.
here in Southern Dallas, and it's gonna be. I am Nathaniel Avila. That's Ruby Rodriguez, and we're here with.
I can speak for myself.
Okay, sorry.
I am Ruby Rodriguez. Hello, everyone.
Did
How
I just
are
do
you?
a sexism?
Yeah, you just did a sexism.
No. Okay, and we're joined with.
Shame.
And
then we have our guest today, who is Faheem.
Hello.
And your last name?
Rashid.
Yeah. Faheem Rashid. I just want to make sure that it gets said right.
Yeah.
Before murdering it, you know.
Oh, I've had
because
worse.
people do that.
Yeah.
What have you had?
I had a teacher that for 8 months used to call me Raheem.
Raheem? Did you
Well,
not
they combined my
correct
first and last name together. It's all good.
You're like, okay, sure, save time where you can. I mean,
She didn't call me
whatever.
Bob, but okay.
And Faheem, you are a local Dallas actor, but
Correct.
I'm sure you've done stuff other places too, right?
Yeah, I've done a couple shoots in Louisiana and also once in LA for a pilot that died.
Aw.
That's all good.
But
Yeah.
that's good that you got there. I haven't even been to LA. LA is fucking expensive, bro.
Yes, it
like,
is.
oh my god. I'm trying to get to fucking LA at the end of this month for the Stranger Things premiere.
Mm-hmm.
You know that I think the most expensive city in America is San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Your flights. How are you getting your flights?
I was trying to go through Spirit, but I have actually some miles
Yeah.
to redeem. So I'm gonna see how much it is.
You
but
know, if you go to the counter at Spirit Airport, they take off $40 per ticket.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, I've done it multiple times before.
I'm just gonna go to the airport.
Well, what
right?
you do is you go to Kayak or Google Flights. I do not want to get my secret. Okay.
Give it away because then everybody's
No, it's all
gonna
good.
get all the tickets.
It's all good. I mean, I already wait. But yeah, you go to Kayak or you go to Google Flights or something like that. You look up around what the price is going to be on days.
On there?
Find the cheapest days, which usually the cheapest days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then you find the price there, and then you write down all the information and go to the airport and tell them that, and they usually take off about $40 per ticket.
So you tell them what you've seen online.
Well, it's faster that way. You could go and just shop on, go there and it's like, hey, I want to go from here
While
to here.
they're doing it.
But I hate that because it takes like half an hour when you could literally go on, Google, find out what the price is.
So if you tell them, then they're just gonna they're just gonna take the money off.
It's
okay.
It's an online booking fee that they charge that every airline charges, but they actually take it off when you go in person.
Okay. Well,
It does
I'm
not
gonna
work
do
if you
that.
call in though. So
yeah,
you
I
have to
heard
go
that. So it's like you can't call in; you have to actually be there. And no wonder the fucking Spirit lines are always long. So,
but
yeah,
it is
I'm gonna
worth
do
it
that.
because I personally have flown round trip from here to LA for $60, from here to New York for $50, from here to Phoenix for $50, from here to Detroit to New York back here for $120.
New York is another place that's expensive. But what have you done in Louisiana? What did you do over there?
I've done a couple. The Louisiana Film Prize.
Yeah.
I've done a couple.
That festival?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did 2 films there.
I actually got asked to do that, and I really wanted to do it, but I couldn't at the moment.
Yeah.
So, and then you did the Murder Made Me Famous here.
Yes, I did.
Right?
Murder Made Me Famous here.
Is that what's on your reel? Look at this fucking fly in here, bro.
Yeah,
Fucking fly in here.
the one that's the reel I believe I have on IMDb and Backstage. I just cut together using a bunch of different short films and stuff from there. So yes, the first clip, which I do use an accent there, is from Murder Made Me Famous. Then it goes into a film, Field of Flowers, which I did for a UTA student. Then I think it's yours next.
What
and
is
so forth.
that Murder Made Me Famous episode about?
That was the story of Osama bin Laden.
What?
Yes.
Were you Bin
Were
Laden?
you Bin Laden?
No, I played a terrorist. Well, assumed terrorist because I don't actually do anything, but a terrorist in Lebanon in '92 that goes into a hotel asking if there's American soldiers that are staying here. And it's assumed that I have a bomb in my suitcase, but, this lady never tells me anything. She's...
And in the show, nothing ends up happening?
Not for my part. But then it goes on to the story of Osama bin Laden.
But you didn't have anything to do with the bad part? Or you did?
Well,
Okay, well, we'll
if you know history, you know
it.
what happens in Lebanon in 92. So...
I know some history, but like the history that I'm interested in.
It's the Middle East. Always bad stuff always happens.
Because I know like the Rodney King riots was happening in 1992.
Yeah.
So that was going on here because I think that's what we're mostly doing. Oh snap!
Ah.
And let me think. All right, so.
And I'm sorry, we're eating our food right now.
Yeah.
Because I got here late. Whatever.
So,
But so Faheem, where do you want to give them your information, like for them to follow you?
Yeah, you could follow me on Instagram. I am real
We're not
Faheem
gonna do
R.
that part.
What part?
You were gonna skip it, and you were gonna do something else already, right?
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say
gotta let
something
him plug in
else.
his
Say your
stuff.
Say your stuff.
Yeah, no, you can follow me at real Faheem R on Instagram. I put up a post today where my car's mileage was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What?
I know that's very small, but still, I like that.
Dude, yeah, that's like something that doesn't happen all the time.
I literally stopped in the middle of the highway to take a picture of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty wacky of you,
Yeah.
Faheem.
So
It's either take a picture of that while driving or stop in the middle of the highway. I stopped in the middle of the highway.
Sure, I mean, I hope you didn't cause any wrecks or anything.
Well, I didn't get in a wreck, so...
All right.
So
cool,
this
cool.
is a running late podcast,
Yeah.
and that's what we do, right, Ruby?
Yeah.
And this is a getting stuck into traffic.
It's
yeah,
and
Ruby.
Panda taking forever on my food. So apparently, like everybody wanted Panda today.
But no, we were actually psych. We just fooled you. We just bamboozled you. It's actually an entertainment podcast.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about monster movies.
Yes,
The big
monster
ones.
movie. Just
So-
because I saw Godzilla when I was in Austin, I saw Godzilla and I liked it. It was pretty entertaining. I'm really excited to see what Godzilla and King Kong look like. What it's gonna look like, because I thought for some reason that had already happened.
Godzilla versus
It
King Kong?
did in Japan a couple decades ago, but not in this new iteration.
No, I thought that they had already done it, like the new generation.
Oh, no,
I don't
not
know
yet.
why. I was like, I thought they already did that. I went over my head, but yeah, the movie Godzilla was the King of Monsters was good. I got to see Millie acting in another thing other than just what I see her all the time in as 11.
Uh-huh.
So she did pretty good. She didn't really say much.
Did you get a nosebleed?
No.
Damn.
That would have been like, so the parallels right there would have been like, but no, she didn't say much, but she did have to use her American accent, which she kind of uses in
She's
Stranger
Spanish.
Things, but not too much. So yeah, she's not. Is she Spanish?
She was born in Spain, yeah.
I thought for some reason her accent was like English.
Oh, she was raised by British parents, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so then that's why she has the accent,
Uh-huh.
but she's Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Is she part of
Millie,
the...
so Millie's a Latina?
I guess.
Yeah.
Latina stay winning, bro.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Fanny?
Anyway, so
No,
oh yeah, go ahead.
No,
Did you
it's-
see Godzilla?
I have not seen the new one, but I already know spoilers, so it's all good.
Oh my gosh.
No spoilers.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
not
saying
gonna
any
say
spoilers, no.
spoilers, but it was really good. We went to see it kind of late, so my son fell asleep, but he kept on trying to wake up because he's like, I kept trying to see, but I was so tired. He was like, what happened? But I think they did good. The story
Nice.
was good. Millie was good. The actors were good. It was pretty good. I mean, I'm just gonna see what King Kong looks like.
Yeah.
Like,
We've seen King Kong though.
Yeah, but that
No,
King Kong was
Godzilla
also
versus
half the
King
size of...
Yeah.
I mean,
and I just thought it. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but
Oh, yeah.
we'll talk about it
No
later.
spoilers.
Whenever.
So we're gonna talk about monster movies. Rawr.
Rawr.
So from big monsters to small monsters, we're gonna talk. We're gonna start things off by going back in time. Ruby, do you want to go into your time machine?
It's
Yes, you do.
Faheem. Faheem's gonna go.
I'm gonna go.
Do you have
Because
a?
he's
Do you
the
have one?
guest.
Do you have a particular monster film?
Monster
you wanna
movie that you like to talk about?
let's see. I'm actually going to talk about a monster that's not really a monster, but I still say it's probably one of the best portrayals of a beast that haunts, that's always a presence in the background.
What is it?
Okay, that could be a monster.
Yeah. It's the T-Rex from the original Jurassic Park.
Mm.
Because what is many monsters based off? It's based off of like a dragon or kaiju, but many of them have their basis around something that looks like a giant dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
That T-Rex is probably in my mind, quintessential
Yeah,
monster.
at that time, like when did you first watch it? How old were you?
I don't even remember.
You were young,
Yeah.
right? Younger than you are now. You were a kid.
Yeah.
Seeing that for the first time, like, holy crap, you know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that. And just imagining like being chased by a T-Rex like that.
I think
Well,
it was,
and-
yeah.
go ahead.
I think it was the first time that CGI was used.
Oh
Mhm.
in
yeah.
the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and not only
It
that,
had to
it's
be.
had the perfect reason for a monster to be a monster. A monster is a force of nature. It does not. Many times, it's not a bad guy or a good guy. It's just being itself. That T-Rex was not the bad guy. That's what the problem of many, in my opinion, many of the, like, for example, later on Jurassic Park movies have, is they made the dinosaurs bad guys. No, that was just being an animal.
Yeah.
That you invaded its territory, so now it's doing what it needs to do because that's its house.
Exactly. Yeah. And the audience like gets that, and you're
Yeah.
like, it makes you like actually want to kind of side with the monster.
You can't be
on
mad,
this,
yeah.
Because it's like you dumbasses were the ones who thought y'all could bring dinosaurs back. Like, what the fuck did you think they were gonna
Yep.
do?
I think that's also what happened when Trevorrow did Jurassic World.
Yeah.
When they made the new Terra dinosaur, and it was just killing dinosaurs,
Yeah.
and just leaving it
Yeah.
instead of just
Yeah,
because it was just like it wasn't eating them like what animals do. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
killing
he
it,
was
just
like
killing.
doing like
Yeah.
savagely.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's, that's...
But yeah,
At the end of the
I-
movie, the original T-Rex still took that one out.
Okay. Yeah, could you outrun a T-Rex wearing high heels, Ruby?
What?
Because that's what Bryce Dallas Howard did.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know, bro. Like, that's the one thing that bothered me about that movie so much. I was like, you're really gonna say, like, that bitch ran the whole time in the woods in her heels. Like, that would not happen. I don't even
no.
think, like, the biggest and baddest drag queen could do that. Like, you're gonna take your fucking heels off. You're running, like, for long periods of time.
Well, as
in
soon
the
as she
woods.
steps out of the van, it would have sunk in the mud.
Yeah, exactly. And then she jumps in the water with him too, doesn't she? To swim?
Probably, I think so.
Yeah,
It's
she
been a while.
does. Whenever they have to do that jump over the waterfall in Jurassic World, we're
Yeah.
talking about a whole another movie, but of course it
Yeah.
still falls within the whole dinosaur being a monster thing. So yeah, that definitely was something that pissed me off because I was like, that's not true.
Okay. So, are you ready to go in your time machine now, Ruby?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I am, Nate.
Oh, okay. And so we're gonna go back in time to 2005.
Oh, that's not that far back in time.
Yeah.
Very far back in time. We're gonna go back in time into 2005, Georgia. Georgia.
I like the way he just burped before he said Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia. It makes me want to sing that Ray Charles song now.
Yeah, and they're kind of going through kind of some things right now. But this is 2005, so we're gonna go to. I'm talking about Neil Marshall's 2005 film, The Descent.
Ooh.
And it is a story about a cave-in expedition that goes horribly wrong as the explorers become trapped and ultimately pursued by a strange breed of predators.
What is it?
The predators?
Yeah.
Well, it is shown that there are some kind of like mutant bat type people.
Mutant bat type people.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they're blind, but they use like echolocation to find their prey.
Interesting.
And in the film, it's an all female cast.
Mm.
With that, and I believe that that Marshall originally wrote the script to have like a mixed cast, both male and female, but he decided, you know what, there's too much of that already. Let's just have an all woman cast.
Interesting.
So that's what he did, and it mostly follows like this rivalry between this Asian American girl, and this Scottish girl.
Like they're friends, but they're not friends. Like frenemies.
Kind of, yeah.
So
Okay.
Mulan versus Brave, got it.
Yeah. And so what happened is that it's kind of like in the beginning of the film, they were kayaking, like they were kayaking, and then the Scottish girl's husband was there with her daughter, and then they were like, "Oh, you're back, yay!" And then he was helping the Asian girl out, and they were kind of like exchanging glances, like.
Oh my god! And the Scottish girl got jealous.
Well, what happened was that they were driving back, and I believe this part happened in Scotland. So they were driving back, and then the Scottish girl noticed that her husband was not responsive or not responding because like something was on his mind. And she was like, "What's going on?" And then he was like, "It's nothing." And he's like, "Oh, are you sure?" And then he just like wasn't paying attention, and the car just kind of like swerved to the side.
Oh, I've done that before.
And there was this oncoming car coming towards him, but it did, and then all of a sudden it collided.
So they got into a car accident.
A car accident, but this truck was like a van with those pipes that are on top of it, and so it kind of like slid off, pierced through the window, and just like just cut into this guy's face, like straight in the face.
Did they show that on the movie?
Yeah, they did.
Ooh.
Just right into the face.
When did Final Destination come out? Because that sounds like something you'd see in Final Destination.
I know, right?
And he's like goes right through his face, and it goes through his face and into his daughter's face.
Aww.
That is so horrible.
That's messed up.
But we don't see the daughter getting
Wait,
through.
when does that happen though? That happens before she goes down to the cave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because after that, she becomes really like detached and depressed and everything.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. And then she gets an invitation because like it was her and a bunch of other girls that they were together. She gets an invitation to join her in Georgia, and they can go exploring in a cave.
What the hell would somebody want to go to Georgia to explore a cave?
I think because Georgia is very popular with caves or something. Very popular amongst spelunkers.
It's cheap and they got good peaches, all right.
Yeah.
So,
so they go to Georgia, and she meets like this. There's this girl who was, I think she was like some kind of med student or something, and then she was like, "Why are we going to the caves, man? That's just a tourist trap, dude. We need to do something like more epic and stuff."
Yeah, they should have listened to that girl.
Huh? And then so, what happened is that they drove to the cave, and then they go into it, and they go into the mouth of the cave, because it was like kind of like an underground cave, because instead of like going into like a mountain.
And is this something that they regularly do?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people spelunk. It's called spelunking.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they go in there, and then they were like, and then all of a sudden the cave caved in, and now they're trapped. Huh?
All of a
Caves tend to do
sudden.
that.
Yeah, the cave caved in, and then they were like, "Oh no, we're trapped." We're like, "It's okay. We called in an emergency, and if we don't report back, they'll come and find us." And then the Asian girl, because she was the one who orchestrated it, she was like, "I did it, though."
I didn't what?
No, yeah, it was just like, "I did, but for the caves that we were originally going to go to.
Yeah.
This was a completely different cave."
So then she reveals that to them, and they're like, "We're
So they
fucked."
did actually listen to the girl to go somewhere more epic.
Yeah.
So,
And she was like,
She's like, "We gonna go to the cave where they try to eat you, girl. It's gonna be lit." Like,
Yeah. So they go to the cave, and then she reveals that it wasn't the original cave, and then it was like nobody's ever been in this cave before.
I was like, "You fucking dumbass." I would have kicked that bitch's ass right then and there.
And that's what they
I would
wanted
have been like,
to
"You
do
playing
that.
with my life?
Yep.
You're playing with my life right now."
Yeah, and they
So
wanted to
these
do that too.
predators, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to eat them?
They want to eat them, yeah. And I think almost all of the girls die.
oh.
Almost all the girls die, or all of them do die?
Well, this is kind of a complicated question, but I'll get to that.
Okay.
Oh my god! One of them turns into a bat.
I don't think so. But it is kind of, they did find that there were like some equipment from old spelunkers that used to explore it, but they never got out.
Okay.
So I guess it's kind of implied that those splunkers ended up becoming the bat creatures-ish. I don't know.
That's the only way that it would not be that they didn't die, that they actually like become something else.
Mm-hmm.
So then they didn't need to eat them.
They did need to eat them because that's what they did. Because they're not like human anymore. They're just mindless monsters just trying to eat food.
Did they
And
talk
they
about the
just-
lore of these beasts or no?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, and they didn't say. I mean, like, so this is how they eat. They just wait for people to randomly fall in their cave.
Well, they go out. They go out of the cave, and they kill whatever prey they find, and they drag it back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And throughout this entire like endeavor, the Scottish girl has like visions of her dead daughter and everything. Because the day she died, it was on her daughter's birthday, so she constantly has visions of her daughter around a birthday cake with like 5 candles.
That's so sad.
And every time a person dies, a candle is missing. So that's what that whole thing is about.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and I think the most important one is the most important characters is the Scottish girl and the Asian girl, because the other girls they just die, and the two the Asian girl and the Scottish
The ones
girl,
that hate each other.
yeah, they ended up becoming like ruthless like warriors that like kill these things.
Oh
all
yeah,
a
of
sudden.
course, right?
They, like,
They
kill
have to
the-
have like a turnaround point.
And then it's revealed that, oh no, the Asian girl was having an affair with her husband. OMG.
Yeah.
And like near the end, like they were like covered in blood because they killed all these things. And then they were like, and then she was like revealed to her that she knew that the Asian girl was having an affair
with her husband.
Yeah. And these things were the monsters were coming at them, and what she ended up doing is she ended up just like using like I think it was a pickaxe or something to like hit her leg with it, so she would be at the mercy of the monsters.
Yeah.
And then just left her there and ran off.
Ooh, that sounds so good at the end.
Yeah. So
She was like, I knew it was you.
yeah, that's what happened.
Die, bitch.
Yep.
I would have sacrificed her. I would have been like,
Yes.
Well, you know what they say. I don't need to outrun the bear. I just need to outrun
yeah, I
you.
need to outrun you.
So there are 2 cuts of the film. There's an American cut and a UK cut and a United Kingdom cut.
Okay.
In the American cut, she escapes the cave. She finds the car, drives off, and she pulls over as soon as she got enough distance away from the cave, and then she just like hurls out of
How
the
did she
window.
get out of the cave?
She just finds the exit.
I don't know.
And she just hurls out, and then as she comes back up after hurling out the window, oh no, it's the ghost of the Asian girl, and then she screams, and then cut, and then credits. That's how it ends.
Okay.
What? They show the ghost of the Asian girl?
Mm-hmm.
And
Like
that was
how?
And that was the U.S. version.
That was the U.S. version, yeah. In the British version,
Of
the
course it
same
would be
thing happens,
Stupid.
and the same thing happens, except as soon as like the ghost appears, she screams, and then it cuts to her waking up still in the cave.
I like that ending better.
I like that ending better too.
And then she sees like the apparition of her dead daughter with the birthday cake. And then like it cuts to her, and then it zooms out, and then she's alone in the cave, and then you hear the monsters like coming towards her, and that's how it would end.
I like that
The
version.
United King version.
Yeah, I like that one a lot better.
Yeah.
The US one was stupid. Like,
What?
how are you just gonna stop it at her seeing her ghost? Like, what happened? Why is she a ghost? Like, is this the first time they're introducing ghosts into the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So in this film, because it's an all-female cast, but the most important characters is the Asian girl and the Scottish girl. Now the Asian girl is considered to be like the more. It's supposed to be like the embodiment of the masculinity that is shown in these types of
Who?
films.
The Scottish girl?
The Asian girl.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Asian girl.
And
So she was Mulan.
I guess so.
But to be fair, Meredith is also very.
Well, no, she doesn't
Yeah.
have an arrow.
Yeah.
She had an arrow, maybe.
Yeah, because in one of the scenes, she was like, when she finally decided, you know, I'm gonna kill these things. She was there like slaughtering them, and then another girl just just snuck up behind her, and then she just turned around, and just stabbed her, just like just mindlessly stabbing her.
What?
But it was an accident. But she stabbed her, and then she was like, "Oh, why did you stab me so?" and then she fell over, and then she was like, "Don't leave me to die," and then she was like, "I'm gonna leave you to die," and then she left. And then that was that whole thing.
Where can you watch this movie now?
You can watch it on Cinemax.
Skinamax.
Yeah, sure. And also, like, this is that whole idea of having, like, too big of an ego. Because, like, that's why she wanted to do it, to explore the cave. Because she was like, I want us to explore this cave together and then name it or whatever because it's new.
Mm.
And then
The Asian girl?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Scottish girl is like, did you want to do this for me or for you? And then she was like, OMG. You're
exactly.
Right.
You bitch.
Uh-huh.
You bitch.
So that's kind of messed up. The Asian girl was still hanging out with
Yeah.
the Scottish girl's husband was having an affair with the Asian girl. So after the guy's dead, the Asian girl was still hanging around the Scottish girl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
I guess because they were like friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've always been friends, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What would you do in that situation, Ruby?
In what situation?
You're being trapped in the cave by a person who lied to you that you thought was your friend, and now you're being haunted by monsters.
I'd fucking get rid of the monsters.
Really, you can do that?
I mean, that would be my main objective. Fuck whatever this bitch is talking about. I'm trying to fucking live my life. Like,
No.
I need to live. I need to survive right now. And if I need to use you, we're gonna forget about all the drama that's going on out there and just, we need to fucking get out of here.
Yeah. What if your bestest friend in the whole wide world, you were really tight?
That's my husband.
And okay, so you and your whatever.
You and your whatever, okay?
So you and your husband, I guess.
I now know why I'm sitting in the middle, but okay.
Is trapped in the cave, and the only way to get out is to leave him behind. What do you do?
Oh my god. It just depends on the situation. If I thought that he was in a situation where
The monsters are coming. They're gonna get you. They're
Oh,
gonna get
okay.
one of you. One of you or both of you. What's gonna happen?
I would stay there with him.
Nah, whatever.
I would. I wouldn't want to live without him, especially knowing that I fucking left him down there.
Okay, how about like another
I would
friend
end
that's
up
not
like
a husband?
I would end up like offing myself later on
That would be
because
good.
of it.
What about like another friend a girlfriend, like a female friend? How about that?
It depends on who it is.
Like your bestest female friend.
If it was him.
It was me. She would kill me.
Yeah.
She would let me to die. She would leave me to die.
Yeah.
I would try my very hardest to bring you with me.
I appreciate that. All right, and that was The Descent. Ruby,
All
what do you got?
right. So I'm gonna do something a little bit different.
What?
Because I have like a very I have one monster that I love in
What?
particular that I've loved that's been going on since the 1800s actually. It was the very first ever film on vampires.
That's for awful.
Is it Nosferatu?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's actually not.
Because that was the first
Yeah.
one.
No, that here. I mean, not
In
even.
America?
No, it wasn't even. No, it wasn't even that because that was one isn't even here either.
Mm-hmm.
It was a French film,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in 1896. So the very end of the 1800s,
Yeah.
but still
Okay.
1800s, and it was called Le Manoir du Diable. I think that's how you say it.
What's the
I don't know.
English
I don't speak
translation?
French.
Mm.
I think it's the hand of the devil. But
Okay, that makes
let's
sense.
use fucking
Okay.
Google Translate and see because now I'm interested and I have to find that out. Thanks a lot, Nate,
Okay.
because of my OCD.
Your OCD that was totally diagnosed by a real doctor?
Yeah, totally.
Really? Who was your doctor?
Me, nigga?
You're the doctor?
Yeah.
Really? Where did you get your degree?
I know myself better than anybody
Okay.
else. The Devil's Mansion.
The Devil's
I was
Mansion.
close. I was
You're
close.
getting a phone call.
I
Yeah.
know. It's my best friend. Hi, best friend.
We're working.
Hey, I'll call you right back, babe, because I'm on the podcast. I'll explain to you later. Okay, love you, bye. Okay, so it is the mansion.
The Devil's Mansion.
The Devil's Mansion, right?
Yeah.
And it was actually the first film on vampires ever to
Yeah.
exist. And
Yeah, I
it was
believe
French. So I wonder why the French.
Well, they were the first people who invented the idea of the motion picture.
Okay.
The use of film as an entertainment value.
French?
Yeah, the French.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because it was the first people who ever did that was the Lumiere brothers, who used it as like a circus trick.
Mm.
And there was this very famous film called Train Leaving the Station, and it was just a train leaving the station.
Oh, yes. I've heard of that. It was literally just a train leaving the station, and people would go to watch this.
Yeah, they would go to watch this, and they would like duck out of the way as the train was going past the frame because they thought it was coming right at them.
Nice.
Oh man, to experience that for the first time, oh my god.
Well, go back
That
to
is crazy.
first time you saw 3D.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I remember the Lumiere brothers was like, this is just a passing fad. It will never catch on.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Centuries later. But anyways, the reason why I wanted to not just give, one film or whatever is because there are so many vampire films.
There's a lot of vampire films. Yeah.
There's a lot of vampire films, and I just wanted to kind of give like a background of that.
Okay.
That's
Watch
okay.
What We Do in the Shadows. It's a great show.
Yes.
So
And film.
I'm gonna mention that. So so I wanted to first off start off with that because that was the first ever on vampires ever. Now there are a bunch of other movies as well that are just dedicated to the vampire Dracula. Because there's gonna be different kinds of vampires, but there's so many on this one Dracula because of course that's where mainly everybody got the notion of Dracula from. I mean, Dracula, vampires from. Nobody really knows this Devil's Mansion or anything like that. Not a lot of people even know Nosferatu. They all know Dracula. If you know Dracula, we're talking vampires. So, the first ever Dracula film was in 1920, and it is lost. It's lost now. It's a lost silent Russian film. So. Yeah, that was the very first one in Russia, and then after that, in 1922, it was Nosferatu, and this is the German adaptation of Bram Stoker's novel. And he wasn't, Dracula. He was another one that they called Count Orlok. I think that's how you say
That
it.
sounds about right.
Yeah. And he was like, I don't know, like for me, that was the very first one that I had ever seen, and for me, that vampire it was so, like...
Didn't they make Nosferatu because they couldn't get the rights to Dracula?
That, probably, I don't really know, I just got as much as I could here, but, he's like really like ugly looking, like you know how he looks, right? He's like so creepy, like the definition of a vampire really like just creepy looking, which I didn't really like too much, so at that point I was still like, eh. Then come around to 19, what was it? Is it 1922? No, 1973. Sorry, 1973 was when they made the Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it was the one with Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, and Keanu Reeves. Was it 1973?
Yeah,
like
because that was when
off.
Coppola made it.
Yeah.
Coppola made that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when
It was 1973.
fell in love with vampires because they still had Dracula looking kind of like ugly at some points, but at another point he was also like romanticizing. He was also like romanticizing this girl who plays Winona Ryder, and Keanu Reeves is also in here, and he's the husband of Winona Ryder, and he gets like trapped in this whole like female vampire orgy at one point during the movie. So they really like sexualized the vampire at that point, and they made it kind of into like a kink, for people at that point. Then come around 1992, now we have Vampire Slayer movies coming out, where this was Buffy, the Buffy movie, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And, I forgot that what's his name was on that movie.
Angel?
No.
Oh, movie, you said.
No, not the show. The show came out in 1997, which was another one that I love. It was Michelle Gellar and the guy Angel. What's his name? David Boreanaz or something like that. But the Buffy movie, what's his name? He just recently died.
Who?
I don't know.
The one that was on 90210. Why can't I think of his
Oh,
name? What the fuck? He was on Riverdale.
Yeah.
Too. What was his name? That's gonna kill me now.
Fahim's looking it up.
90210. Let me see. Matthew Perry, isn't
Matthew
it?
Perry.
No.
Yeah, Luke Perry.
Luke
Luke
Perry.
Perry.
There you go. Why? Oh my God.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Matthew Perry is still alive.
Yeah, I apologize. Luke was the one who just died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was in that movie. He was the male lead in that movie in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So rip R.I.P. So then, yeah, 1997 the show came out, and then in 1998 we get the Blade
Yes.
series, which is now we're getting into like real action-packed vampire movies.
Yep.
You know. So I love this because I love that with the vampires you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. You can go romantic. You can go scary. You can go action. So there's like gonna be a variety
Or
of
comedy.
these movies.
Yes.
Or comedy
That's
because
true.
of
Taika Waititi.
yeah. So, and I didn't even know, like, I think I've known, but I forgot that Blade is based off of a Marvel comic.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
R.I.P. Stan Lee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think
But-
they're trying to implement it into the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's multiple different interviews where they ask Kevin Feige and a bunch of other people who should play Blade if you were to do Blade, and they just say Wesley Snipes. So, yeah. And he said he's up
Only
for it too.
Wesley Snipes. Like,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, yeah. I would go for it.
I mean, he's no longer having tax problems, so he's up for it.
Oh snap!
Pay your taxes and we'll talk Wesley. So basically then after that we have another one of my favorites.
Twilight.
We're
not there yet.
No, we're not there
yet.
yet.
No,
Okay.
we're not shining yet.
We have actually I missed one, but I'll leave them in the honorable mentions.
Okay.
We have which one is it? Where is it at? Queen of the Down
Okay.
in 2002, and that of course is my one of my very very favorites. It's based off of a novel from Anne Rice is the writer, and she has actually this series of vampire books.
Did she write the Vampire Diaries?
Is that what they're
Or
called?
was it the Vampire Chronicles?
The Vampire Chronicles is what I think it's called. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually sure that it's the Chronicles now that I'm there. I'm hearing it. It's 12 books. And there's only been 2 movies made out of those 12 books.
Yeah. I know
And
Barnes
I
and
really
Noble's-
hope they would do all of them.
Yeah.
Like
Barnes and
I
Nobles
wish
has a
they did.
leather-bound version of it.
Really?
I'd like to get. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get it, let me borrow it.
Okay.
Like I was so totally.
You're never getting it back.
back.
Yeah.
And then now we get to my ultimate favorite vampire movie, which is Twilight.
Okay.
Boy, I will still watch Twilight. Like, I just want to watch Twilight. I will binge Twilight. I need to do that. And that was in 2008 when we first got Edward.
I've never actually seen the Twilight movie. I know
Oh
the
my
story,
God,
and I've
me
seen clips, of
too.
course, but I've never actually sat down and watched them.
You know that Robert
love that.
Pattinson.
He's
he
Batman.
really does, yeah, he's the new
He's
Batman.
gonna be the new Batman.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
fine
God.
with that.
Edward
Yeah.
is gonna be Batman.
Because he also he really doesn't like Twilight.
I know.
He
Yeah.
really doesn't like it.
A lot of actors, they don't really like their stuff. Like some of the stuff that they actually get known for, they're just
Yeah.
like, I never thought that was gonna go anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And it ends up,
I know
getting
Kristen
in.
Stewart also doesn't really like talking about it.
No.
I think
Well, to be-
it also has to be like that whole awkwardness,
Yeah.
you know, because of them having the relationship and then her being a cheating whore and then,
Okay, is she
Okay.
gay or not? Is she gay?
huh?
Is she gay?
Yeah, she's I guess she's lesbian.
Is she?
I'm not sure if she's bi or lesbian. I could be wrong, but yeah, she is with a girl recently.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's all that she's
Yeah.
probably awkward about not.
Well, they
wanting to talk
also,
about that.
both of them have moved on, except for Taylor Lautner. I have no idea what happened to him. He got fat or something.
Oh,
But they both moved on, and they've done a lot of really good acting in some independent stuff.
Yeah,
But
I
you know.
haven't seen Kristen's recent independent stuff because I know that there's one that just got released on Hulu. I think it was, and she's with another actress. I forgot who it is too.
yeah,
But I wanted to see it because she's in it. But no, these I really love because it was the very first time where I basically saw the idea of a human being with a vampire, which is something that I fantasize about
Okay.
all the time. Not that much anymore. Well, I tell Joe that if I get turned into a vampire, then I'm going to come get him and turn him into a vampire too.
You know there are some people who identify as vampires.
I know,
America.
but they're not really truly vampires. Like, I'm not gonna be one of those lames. It's like, I'm a real vampire, but I'm not.
I got
Okay.
fangs. Does that count?
I
literally
want
have-
fangs.
I got 4 fangs. Like.
Sharpen them. I wanted to
No!
sharpen. I want to sharpen
says no.
mine.
No,
I want to
might take
sharpen
long.
mine. He's like, we might take long. No, but yeah, so it's something that people fantasize about. Obviously, a lot of people, because that, movie hit hard. It hit really hard. So it was just the first time that you could actually see that working out, you know. And the whole story was just, it's really intriguing because they got werewolves, they got, not only just vampires, but they each have their own like little power or whatever, Edward
CGI
can read
babies.
minds and stuff like that. Yeah, all of that.
I know it started the YA movement.
The
for a while.
YA?
Yeah.
Yeah, young adult.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't Harry Potter start that?
Well,
first?
it kind of paved the way, but it didn't really hit hard until Twilight came out. And then Harry Potter kind of started following suit a little bit.
Okay.
And then they made, we're going to make The Maze Runner, we're going to make Divergent, we're going to make The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
We're going to make all those films.
Where it was like young teens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
50 Shades of Grey.
And then
I was like, that's kind of an adult one, I think.
Well, didn't it start off as a Twilight fan fiction?
I don't know.
It did.
It started
did?
off as a
It did.
Twilight fan fiction, and then it became that.
What the fuck?
that's true.
That's
Yes.
totally not what Twilight was.
Yeah.
It was the exact opposite, and that's what I love the most, is because Edward, he's just like this really, like, he's a vampire, so he's super strong, and he has to like be so tender with her because he's like, I'll break the fuck out of you because you're a human,
Isn't he also like 300 years old, but he's going after a teenager in high school?
No, he's not. He's 100 and something.
Sorry.
He says it in the movie. He's like, I'm 100 and something. And she's like, well, maybe I shouldn't be with someone that old. They just kid around about it.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's actually he stayed the way that
I bet
he is.
I can do the delivery that Stewart did. I gotta be with someone that old.
You smile too much.
Oh no.
Y'all are so bad, I swear.
I love Stewart. She's my crush.
Well, Edward was everybody's crush at that time. Before I was with my husband, he was mine. And I went to go see Twilight in the theaters like 5 times. I kid you not.
Yeah.
And then I went every time after that for the premiere. And then my husband went to one of them too.
What's the town that Twilight takes place in?
Forks, Washington.
Have you ever been to the convention they have there every year?
Man, I bet you it's mind blowing, bro. Like, oh my god, not as mind blowing as the Stranger Con's gonna be though.
You know,
for me.
the reason why
That's
she
gonna
wrote
be
that
really
as the city, right?
Why?
Why do you think she wrote that as the city?
Well, I heard because it was the environment that it's always wet and cold and stuff like that.
She googled rainiest city in the U.S. and that's
Yeah.
what popped up. That's why it's in their story.
I'm surprised it wasn't like a city in Hawaii, because isn't that supposed to be like the wettest place on earth?
No,
No idea.
I thought it
I
was.
thought Seattle was.
Seattle is pretty rainy.
Yeah, but it's not cold
yeah.
or anything like
Yeah.
that, like all the time, I guess. But it wasn't in Forks all the time either. But yeah, that's basically what they say in the movie too. What I didn't like is that they didn't go off of the book on this first movie.
Mm-hmm.
The very first movie that they made, it was with a different director. I forgot who it was, but they didn't go off of the book.
Okay.
And it was not like just like a little bit off the book. No, they totally like changed the story, like the way that they first interacted and stuff like that. And
Okay.
kind of wish they would remake it.
Maybe like in a
But
couple years they
I don't
might.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that's basically a run through like of the movies, because after that, just What We Do in the Shadows
Yes.
That's
is
a
really
great
the
film.
next one
Psycho-ITT.
that I really like. I haven't even been able to see it. I've just seen clips of it. Somebody showed it to me. Joe X, I think,
Yeah.
showed it to me. She just showed me a clip, and I was like, wow, that sounds really funny. So
Yeah.
I want to watch it, especially because it has vampires in it.
Yeah.
But some honorable mentions. The Lost Boys, 1987. Interview with the Vampire, which is the other Anne Rice one that got made. From Dusk Till Dawn. Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
I Am Legend. And I didn't even know that was a vampire movie.
I thought it was a zombie movie.
I thought it was a zombie movie too, but it's based off of a novel where they're vampires. They're not
Oh,
zombies.
okay.
Okay.
That's why they can't come out in the light, I guess. They
Okay.
get burned, right?
That's true. They do that.
But their
So-
teeth are not like vampire teeth.
That didn't make any sense. Why didn't they just
Doesn't,
make it
right?
vampires? Isn't it more marketable?
I don't know. And
Well, they
it
didn't
seemed
really.
more like
They
some-
didn't follow the book either, because
Oh.
the reason why it was called I Am Legend is because Will Smith's character was supposed to be going around killing all of them, and those creatures also used to be smart, so they eventually caught him.
Uh-huh.
And when they were to go kill him, he was like, "I am a legend," pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it did not follow the book at all.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I
gosh.
gotta read the book then.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
Alright.
and then Let Me In is another one that I really like because they made the story a bit different with this one where it's a little girl who's a vampire and she stayed, a little girl because she's
Yeah.
a vampire.
They do that in What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
They do?
Yes.
And then she has to get human hosts to be with her for their lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that she uses one up, she has to go find another one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she basically has a human host that helps her with her feeding,
Yeah.
which is crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Vampire Academy is a good one just because I read the books. The movie is okay, but the books are way better. And there's Vampire Academy, this other book series named, what is it called? Night School or Shadow something? I don't know. It's another vampire series,
Okay.
but it's good. So yeah. And then the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's the last one I'm going to mention as an honorable mention. So yeah, I love vampires. That was it. Thank you very much. Okay, love you. Bye.
All right. Thank you for
But
thank you
skipped
for that
a-
great
I skipped
retrospective.
what?
You skipped a really important one too.
Which one?
The one that brought vampires to kids. Hotel Transylvania.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love Hotel Transylvania.
Plus, they
Those
made fun of
movies
your
are-
favorite.
Those movies are funny.
Wow, thank you for that great retrospective, Ruby. That was pretty cool.
You're welcome.
That was
mate.
pretty cool. All right. Well,
So because if I would have said other movies, I would have wasted so much time because I
Okay.
really wanted to talk about vampires.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
go
my
for it.
favorite monster
Yeah.
out of the monsters.
Yeah. Well,
Not really.
we're gonna go back in time once again.
Where are we
You
going?
get ready to go back in time?
Or do you have another one, Faheem?
Oh yeah. Do you have another one?
That you want to talk about? Another
Well,
monster movie?
what defines a monster? That's
Like-
a question.
Like a thing that is not human and it terrorizes
Okay.
a village. or
Because
something.
if you couldn't a monster also just be something that brings fear to a person, which
Maybe.
I don't know, that kind of muddies the water because I mean that you could say that
anything
Harvey
could be a monster.
Weinstein-
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein
Well,
could be a monster.
Hitler
Bill
was a
Cosby.
monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, if I'm going with a monster that I think of, let's see.
Just anyone that you can think of off the bat.
Yeah.
That you've seen that you kind of really have a lot to say about.
I always have a lot to say about Stephanie. Yeah.
Or it could be a show too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a show that has monsters,
A show, comic book,
comic book.
Well,
video game.
how about something that was just canceled? Swamp Thing.
Swamp
Swamp
Thing?
Thing? That was canceled? Didn't it just come out?
It just came out with one episode, and I think it got canned.
What?
Whoa, that stinks.
Yeah, but even though that it has, I need to verify that actually, and let me do that real fast.
Was it on Netflix or where?
It's on DC
DC
Universe.
Universe.
Oh, the movie.
No,
Or
it
the
was a
TV
show
series, yeah.
But where?
on DC Universe.
There's a
DC
channel
Universe
called
is the
DC
yeah.
Universe?
Well, it's an online streaming service.
It's an exclusive service that DC made.
Yeah.
I am out of the loop, but that's probably because it's DC.
Yep. Swamp Thing inside suddenly cancellation after DC Universe's role within Warner Media remains a mystery.
That stinks for them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that.
They only had one episode?
They put out the pilot,
Uh-huh.
as far as I'm aware, and then it got canceled.
Wow.
I mean, that has happened, but I didn't expect it to happen to
That
like a
quick.
DC
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Especially since the reviews for that show are actually pretty good. 8.2 on IGN and all that stuff.
A 67 on Metacritic?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
What who was the actor portraying the swamp? I mean the Swamp Thing or what? Who were the cast?
I don't think they actually got to the point. Oh,
It's Derek Mears.
he sounds familiar. What else was he?
We are looking
Movies.
it up.
It's about a movie, no?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mean movie.
Looking up.
Oh, Freddy! Friday 13th.
Well, he was
Yeah.
he was Voorhees, Freddy Voorhees. I mean Jason Voorhees.
JC. And...
Freddy was Nightmare on Elm
Hansel
Street.
and Gretel.
I got that mixed up. My bad.
That's another good monster movie.
Hansel and
Hansel
Gretel.
and Gretel. Have you seen
The
that?
Witch Hunters.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
No.
It was actually pretty good, entertaining. We
Alright.
watched it. It was good.
Zathora. Interesting. I haven't heard that name.
Was
in a
he
while.
the robot
Maybe.
or one of the lizard things?
I have no
He
idea.
has a lot.
Wait, he was in Men in Black too. Interesting.
Probably an alien. And you
Yeah.
can recognize him.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Turtle. Damn, he's been in everything.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good filmography.
Yep.
All right, so Swamp Thing. So tell us about Swamp Thing. What was it? Was it good? Did you like it?
Well, I actually didn't see it yet. I actually started watching Doom Patrol off the pirated services that I'm doing, but I'm not gonna pay for another service. Yeah, but I was watching Doom Patrol, so when Swamp Thing came out, I heard actually really good things about it, and Swamp Thing was supposed to be nearly pure horror,
Yeah.
and I heard good things about it, and then all of a sudden I hear it got canceled, which is
Yeah.
Do you like
Interesting.
other swamp movie? Like, what is it called?
Well,
is
Swamp
it called
Thing-
the Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing, yeah.
The monster? Because
Swamp Thing.
there's been other movies.
There's been other movies and stuff, but if you go by like the DC, Swamp Thing is kind of like you could say representation of pretty much Earth. So, for example, like Poison Ivy, she actually draws from the same source of power, but he would be way more powerful. He would be like the source, where Poison Ivy is just borrowing from the source, you could say.
Okay.
Yeah, and he in the mentally was pretty much this human that it depends on what story you read, but it was this human that started turning into a creature, and he couldn't figure out why. Turns out he was never that human to begin with. That human died, and it was just Swamp Thing imprinting his own memories on here. So this guy is just it was a full-on monster psychological story.
Oh, wow.
So it could have had a big following.
Because it sounds like a really, like, the villain where you're just like a swamp thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you're kind of like, I guess it kind of like, when you're hearing it, it turns people off. If you don't know the backstory of it like that. And you're kind of like,
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to watch that.
Yeah, well, it would be a two-sided horror story because it's the horror that human has of slowly turning into this beast, and then the people reacting to it because this guy is pretty much immortal, could destroy anything. So yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
If they make anything else, I guess I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. You gonna buy DC Universe?
No.
Oh.
No. I don't like DC.
You don't like DC?
No. I don't.
They're trying to step up their game. They're stepping up their
They're
game.
trying to, but they're not where Marvel is at right now.
Yeah.
Especially because
yeah.
they have so many Jokers now, like in
Yeah.
the same like, like here and shit. Like, okay, we just saw fucking Jared Leto as the Joker, and now you're gonna give us fucking Joaquin Phoenix. Like,
I'm excited for that one.
I do want to see that.
I am though. Like, I think that's probably the only DC movie that I'm excited to go see is because I think what Joaquin Phoenix is doing is he's trying to get empathy out of the audience, and the Joker's gonna get much more empathy from the character portrayal that Joaquin is doing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah. All right. So you ready to go back in time? We're gonna go back into a simpler time.
Which
to
is
1990.
That's not a simpler time.
1990 Nevada.
But I do love the 90s.
Yeah, 1990 Nevada, and we're gonna be talking about.
Tremors. Is it
Yes,
Tremors?
we're gonna be talking about the Ron Underwood film Tremors, where the
Which
natives.
I thought was lame.
You didn't like it?
It's so lame.
Well, it's about the natives of a small isolated town who defends themselves against large, strange underground creatures which are killing them one by one. And it's starring Kevin Bacon as McKee and Fred Ward as Bassett.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like these two people who want to get out of this small town in Nevada, but they can't leave because all of a sudden these things are coming out. And these underground monsters coming out and they're killing people left and right.
And they just can't leave?
Well, they won't let them
Can't
leave because
escape the monsters?
they couldn't leave because every time they walked, the monsters would feel the vibrations of their footsteps and they would come after them. So that's how that worked. So now they had to find a way to try to figure out how to how to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And they are joined by the female lead, Lebec, played by Finn Carter, who is a seismologist, like the person who studies earthquakes and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how they find out about these creatures. And now they have to find it in a really cool 1990s way.
What is what?
Gun.
Ah,
Oh,
just
Shoot them in the face.
Just shoot
Boom,
all of
boom.
them. We'll shoot the ground even.
Yeah.
Fuck it if we spring a lake.
Yeah, and there was 4 of them, four of these monsters. The first one actually got killed because it was traveling underground, but then it hit, smashed into like a concrete wall.
And
Okay.
these monsters just came out of nowhere all of a sudden.
Yeah, because
They've never been there before.
Yes.
And they just like nothing happened and they just started coming out.
Yes.
Just at that point in time.
yes,
So did Godzilla. They've always been around.
No,
Didn't
I thought
Godzilla lay
Godzilla came out
dormant?
because they did some, yeah, he was laying dormant and they did another nuclear test or something that finally woke him up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be similar to these Tremors monsters where they were just
I guess.
appeared out of nowhere, but they may have
Because
been
they
there
were
before.
sleeping the whole
Yeah.
time.
I don't know. In the film, Lebec was studying these things, like, because one of them died, and so she was laid with a dead body of the monster, and she was like, wow, these look prehistoric, and we just never seen them for a couple million years because
No.
they predate the registry.
Yeah.
And
Oh. And
so-
she just happened to be there?
yeah, because
The
she was studying for a university for like seismology or whatever.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why she was there.
Okay.
And it's like pretty good old fashioned fun, like monsters coming out and they shoot them in the face, and it's like these pretty gruesome deaths that are kind of fun
Yeah.
to
So
watch.
that's what you're doing the whole movie, just trying to kill the monsters and watching the monsters kill them.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But you actually really feel for these characters because you really want them to live, and whenever one of them dies,
the characters.
yeah, whenever one of them dies, it kind of makes you sad. There's like one character who is a Mexican character, and he talks like stereotypical Mexican. Do you know what I'm talking
It's the
about?
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, hey, man. We gotta get these monsters, eh? That's how we talk. Oh, I can't do that voice. That hurts.
I think you swallowed the fly and it came
Yeah.
back out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Holmes. They're going after us, eh? That's how
Did
we
you just
talk.
snort?
Yes. I snorted.
Hey, Cheech is not here, man. That's how he
Cheech.
talked. Oh, was that the right one? I don't remember. I've never seen a Cheech and Chong show.
Oh God.
But yeah, that's how they acted, and it was pretty fun. It was good old fashioned rootin' tootin', guns a blazing. Yeah, America, USA, kill those monsters. Boom, boom, boom.
This
Use your
is
guns.
USA. Get out of here, you immigrant. You don't belong here. Oh wait, no, you've been here, but we're still gonna say you don't belong here. Boom, boom, boom.
What? You're Native American? Get out of here. And so yeah, and then it spawned a couple of several sequels that kind of like became like in the same vein as like Sharknado.
Nah.
Oh,
Where they were
God.
like,
that's when you were
"Ugh."
like, we're done with these. Please
Yeah.
stop.
When they were all like, it was just like, because Kevin Bacon never returned for any of the sequels, and it was they
Of
just
course not.
yeah, Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, and the person who played Lebec, what was her name? Finn Carter never returned. Maybe Finn Carter, but they mostly focused on this two couples named Bert and Heather, played by Michael Gross and Reba McEntire.
Okay.
Oh,
Reba. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really just those two people like own a gun shop or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we gotta shoot these things.
It's
blah, blah,
Reba.
blah,
Bang,
blah,
bang,
blah, blah.
bang. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Bullet, bullet, bullet.
Yeah, but it was actually really fun. It was really fun watching that in the first one at least,
Oh, okay.
because that's when it was like, wow, like you feel like the intensity of like, wow, they gotta kill these things.
Yeah.
They gotta kill these things because they're really destroying their livelihood.
So now all of a sudden they just came back out again for
Yeah.
part 2.
In part 2, they were just trying to riding off the success of the first one, like, woo, we're
Yeah.
gonna shoot them in the face, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
And
They got like all the artillery out because they own a gun shop,
Yeah.
so they have like different ways to shoot them and stuff
Yeah.
now.
It was like that, and it just became like they're just doing that just for the sake of doing that.
Yeah.
But the first one is really fun. I suggest you watch it. It's on Stars Encore.
Okay. I should have said that the scariest monster movie for me would be the arachnophobia one.
Oh,
Because
yeah, you
it's
can't
big
watch it.
spiders. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I can't watch Big Spider. I just do
Bro,
not like
no. Like I could not. I don't know what I would do.
that. I don't know what I would do either.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I saw this post on Twitter that said, I'm so afraid of bugs, someone could rob me with a centipede. And it was like the most related post to me. Like
Did
it
you
was the most
double tap
related
it?
post
Yeah.
I was saying.
What social media was it on?
Twitter.
Oh, did you
Bro,
heart it? Retweet?
people on Twitter are savage. Like you
Okay.
find the most craziest shit on there.
Can you follow us on Twitter?
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. We are at, let me see, because I know it's backwards.
It's Talkie Wackies.
Talkies, Wackies.
What's our top tweet that we tweeted? Because I never looked at it.
Our top tweet?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What did we tweet?
Just recently?
Yeah. What was the last thing we tweeted?
I tweeted, I retweeted a picture of Little Nas.
On our account?
Yeah. I
Why?
retweeted because I like the content. He said, I forced 7 and 9 to take pictures with me after their haircuts, and it's his dogs.
Oh,
And they're
okay.
cute, so I'm going to retweet that.
Okay.
And I like
cool.
Lil Nas. I'm a stan.
You're into mumble rap?
It's not mumble rap.
SoundCloud?
Do you know Lil Nas?
She was Noah Cyrus's boyfriend for a bit.
No, that's Lil Xan.
Oh.
Completely different person.
Oh,
Lil Nas is the
never
one
mind.
that sings Old Town Road.
Oh
with
yeah, I
Billy
remember.
Ray
Lil Nas
Cyrus.
X. You forgot the X. That
Lil Nas X. Okay, that's who it is. Anyways, we're out of
I
time.
take my horse to my hotel room and then I'm
Gonna
riding
take
around.
my horse on the Old Town Road. Gonna ride till I can't no more.
All right, let me do some honorable mentions real quick.
All right.
It was a speed round. The only other one that I wanted to let you guys know about is a film by Joho Bong, which is a Korean film, and it's a 2006 film called The Host, and it's about a monster that emerges from Seoul's Han River and begins attacking people, and one victim's played by Ah Sang-go, loving family. The victim was actually played by Kang Ho-sung. Loving family does what it can to rescue her from its clutches.
Okay. It's just a monster that comes out of the what?
The water.
Of the water.
Of the Han River.
What does it look like?
It's like a fish, like a giant fish.
Okay.
What the fuck?
It looks really creepy though. It was really
Yeah.
scary.
Oh.
So they have to fight it, and she has to save his daughter, and all that kind of stuff. The thing about Korean movies is that I don't know whether it's supposed to be funny or not. Because there's this one scene where they're at this shelter. It was the father. What's his name? The father's name, Hyung So. So Hyung So is at this the shelter, and they have sometimes whenever a natural disaster hits, they have like a memorial of all the people who were missing or kidnapped or died.
Yeah.
And he was looking at that, and he sees his daughter's picture, and he was just staring at it or whatever. And then he has like a professional tennis player sister who comes in, and a drunk brother, and they come in, and then so they go in, and then they just start, and I guess they kind of just start crying all over. They start crying like in a very weird comedic way. They're like, ah,
Maybe
They
the
start
acting
writhing-
was just bad.
And they just writhe around, and then they fall on the floor, and they're just writhing around like,
Oh,
ah.
Maybe it was just like a comedic bit. Like
Yeah.
that part was just supposed to be comedic.
Maybe.
You know how they have that in some movies, like it's supposed to be really super serious thing, but they have like spurts of like little comedy in there. But that was like a totally weird
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to.
Because
be
it's like you
crazy.
can't really tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh well,
good.
that's it. The only other one that one more that I want to mention.
Which
It was
one?
a Matt Reeves film made by in 2008 called Cloverfield.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one was pretty good.
Where a group of friends venture deep into the streets of New
That
York City
monster
on a
looks
rescue
so
mission
ugly. Oh
during the
my God.
rampaging monsters attack.
Especially when it started like dropping down the babies and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't want to watch this.
Oh yeah, it was pretty
It
scary.
made me feel like all over.
I thought it was pretty epic, very well done for a found footage film.
Yeah.
Watch Cloverfield and also watch 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane was a little bit.
Who's knocking on the door?
Is
Sorry.
that? I don't know. I didn't know if that was our door or not. Like if it was a door over there or not.
Yeah.
But anyways, 10 Cloverfield Lane is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more about not so much the outside monster, but how in a time of crisis, other people can become the monsters.
Yeah.
Or really, this person was always a monster, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it was just.
Yeah, but you
Trying
can
to-
come across monsters like that in a time
Yeah.
of crisis. You always
Yeah,
gotta
monsters
be careful.
take many shapes.
Yes, many shapes.
Skip Cloverfield Paradox. That was bad.
Okay.
They went to space for that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Faheem, thank you so much
No
for
problem.
joining
Thank you for
us
having me.
today, and hope you liked it. Go follow Faheem again. Your Instagram is what?
Real Faheem R.
And we'll put it below in the
Yeah.
description.
Is there anything you want to plug? Any projects that's coming up that you're in?
I've just been doing a lot of auditions. I mean, over the last 2 days, I drove 900 miles.
He's just been doing the acting thing where you
Yeah.
have to like go audition
Yeah.
over and over and over again until you finally get something. It's so funny because you get it like in spurts. Like at one point I was like really busy,
Yeah.
and then there's this long period where it's just like meh,
Dead.
dead.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got something.
Yep.
You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? All right, I have been Ruby Robledo. Sorry,
Ruby Rodriguez?
Rodriguez. I just officially changed my last name. I got
I
my
know.
driver's license updated.
Yeah.
She finally took her husband's name.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been Nathaniel Avila, and you've been.
You've been.
I've been me.
Yes, you've been me. Faheem Rashid.
Faheem, thank you guys so much. See you guys next
See you
time.
guys next time. Bye.
Bye.